All right, so we're going to jump into the second installment in the Dragon Ball Legends Beginner's Guide series. The first video we talked about starting a new account, getting your teams ready, what the character screen looks like, and just basic elements of what it means to have a team built. So with that out of the way, we're going to actually start talking about how to play the game itself, and luckily the game does have a pretty good tutorial to show you the basics. The event is actually, if you open up your event menu, and there's a tab on the right called Special, and it has the I think it's actually the second event in that list. It's called Become a Pro, Learn with Trunks, Path to Victory Battle Lectures. That's what we're going to be doing in this video.
Okay. Yep. Let's do it.
So there is...
I think I did it, yeah. So I started this like maybe a couple years ago, and then I think when I got to like the Vanish or something, I just gave up and I stopped playing.
Okay, so we can start with the basics, just so that people watching this understand how to play. And I can, as we go through this, I can kind of give like supplementary explanations on how things work in the game. So
start on Art Cancel?
Well, no, on the top, there's a basics tab. Yeah, we'll just do these.
Oh, yeah.
So we can just go in order, and if there's anything that I don't think we need to do, we can skip, but let's just jump in for the first one.
I don't mind going through all of it because I forgot everything. I don't know anything about this game.
Yeah, let's see if I can give any extra explanations here. So learn the basics of training. What can you learn from the Learn with Trunks Path to Victory Battle Lectures? Okay.
Trunks is about to attack. Try to evade. Swipe to the left.
Are you a lefty or a righty?
I'm a righty.
Okay, so you're probably going to be using your right hand more in this game.
Yeah.
To swipe. Okay.
Oh,
so,
yeah, okay.
Yeah. So whenever the opponent goes for an attack, you want to, basically every time you want to try and vanish by swiping the screen, as it showed right there.
All right, thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, great.
Okay, party formation.
This is actually probably going to explain a lot of what I talked about in the first video, but we can take a look at what they're talking about here.
Okay.
I'll turn the basics of putting together a party as well as a few important tips. I mean, I'm assuming that you guys know this, but there's 5 main elements in the game: red, yellow, purple, green, and blue. And that is the color wheel. There's type advantages and type disadvantages. So red is good against yellow, yellow is good against purple, and then the reverse: purple is weak against yellow, yellow is weak against red. Then there are 2 special typings. There's light type, which the only light type character in the game is Shallot, who everybody has for free when starting the game. And then there is a dark type. The only obtainable dark type character is the Saiyan in red, but it's only like a special condition that he has. But dark type is not really a type that is really usable because it's good against every type that isn't light.
So dark is good against the entire color wheel. Is light good against the entire color wheel, or
light
is light just a counter to dark?
Light is neutral to everything except it's good against dark.
Okay, that seems lame. Light kind of sucks then.
It's okay. I mean, it's literally neutral. Elements are important. We need to pay attention to each character's Z abilities. Hey, we talked about that last time. View your character's Z abilities by tapping to show details. Yep, we know this already. Yep. Each fighter has their own character tags. It's good to keep those in mind too. Yep, we talked about that as well. You can check a character's tags into the character's screen. Yep, so if you click on the, if you remember last time we took a look at where the tags were shown in the character screen, if you click on the tag itself, it does pop up a list of all the characters on that tag. So
okay.
Could be pretty good. Useful to know. Okay, yep, keep going. You'll definitely want to check out the recommended function on auto select. They're super useful for building parties. Okay, yeah, probably would actually want to avoid that because doing it yourself, you're going to learn more, I think. So, yep, keep going.
How reliable is the auto select? Is it even good?
In my experience, it's not very good, no. It is not.
Okay, so we'll just skip past that one.
Yeah. Equipment we talked about briefly. I'm going to be so this is the second video in this series. The 4th video we currently have planned is going to be all about equipment. So we'll talk about that at that point.
Okay.
Yep, that's fine. You can skip that. Yep, skip
auto
that.
select. Cool. Take advantage of the leader system.
Yeah, so this is also something we talked about last time. There are 6 slots in a team. I'll just quickly summarize. 6 slots in a team. There's 1 leader slot, which is on the top left of the team's selection screen. The leader slot is a wild card slot. So even though the leader slot character might not be naturally receiving the benefits of the Z abilities of the rest of the characters in your team, if they're in the leader slot and they are a party member, so you select them to bring into battle, they're a battle member, then they'll actually be receiving all the Z abilities regardless of if they're on the tags the Z ability is buffing. And then the reverse is true also, where they'll be able to give their Z abilities to the rest of the team, even if the other characters are not on the leader slot character's Z ability tags. So it is a good wild card slot to take advantage of.
The team comp game must be crazy with that whole mechanic, right?
Yeah,
like,
you can pretty much
an infinite number of teams.
Yeah, you have like Majin Vegeta on like regen and stuff. Like you can do crazy stuff like that. Ultra rarity characters have a unique ability called an ultra ability. It's kind of similar to Z abilities. It's just specific to ultra characters. Those can also, for summonable ultra characters, those can also be wild carded in the leader slot as well.
Dang, so you really want ultras.
Yeah, ultras are just, they always make them really good. And then what's the last one? Master powering up your characters. So like
the soul boost thing is not going to be a thing anymore, right?
Yeah, so I mentioned this in the last video. The soul boosting system is going to be removed, presumably on May 14th. That is when the app update is. So on May 14th, the soul boosting system probably won't exist anymore. So again, just try and do those soul boosting missions that are going to be removed just for extra resources. But
I did a ton of them actually.
Yeah.
I still have the missions.
Yeah, we could check those after this, but it's just, yeah, just keep in mind the soul boosting system, by the time you're watching this video, there's a good chance it doesn't exist anymore. Yep, I'll teach you how to raise their power levels. Yep. Power up your character stats by leveling them up. We did that last video. Soul boosting them, we did that last video. Limit break is just getting extra stars in the characters, so it's just basically just a subset of summoning. It's relatively easy to level up and soul boost your characters, so don't forget to do that without... Yep, keep going. Yep. You can level up your characters with some training items. Yep, we did that last video. You can use soul boost. You can soul boost characters. Yep. Okay, so this is, you know, by the time you're watching this video, most likely it doesn't exist anymore. Acquire enough Z power from summons, battle rewards, or by using multi Z power, which we also briefly talked about last video as well, to increase a character's limit break. Limit break levels are indicated by the number of stars. They're up to 7 yellow stars, followed by up to 7 red stars. So people usually just denote it by saying 14 stars for maxed out characters. Certain numbers of stars will unlock new Z abilities and increase stats. Yeah. So you, well, I don't know if you want to pull up a character. Probably don't need to, but if you remember last video, there were certain Z ability levels. Like there was Z ability 1, Z ability 2, Z ability 3, and Z ability 4.
I remember that.
Yeah, those are which level of Z ability you have depends on how many stars the character is at.
Okay, so you don't actually have like multiple Z abilities. You just have one that just gets
stronger,
more powerful as you level it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually something interesting to see, probably should show this actually. If you go to your team, Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku actually has a special Z ability. If you open his screen and go into his Z ability. So right now your Goku only has the second Z ability, right? So if you open that up, he's giving 26% to Daima, Sun Family, or Saiyan strike attack and defense. If you click on the one that says Z ability 3, that's what you get at 6 stars. He gets 30% Daima, Sun Family, or Saiyan strike attack and defense, and then he picks up 12% to tag Daima max HP, which is really, really insane. So I think what our project should be for this character is we should be giving him Legends Limited multi-Z power to try and get that Z ability. That is a really important Z ability. So I think at the end of this video, actually, we'll just do a bonus little end section here where we jump into the Sparking Limit Break banner and we do some summons on that, because we can actually get some Legends Limited Z power from that to help this guy get boosted up.
Sounds good, coach.
Yep. All right, so we'll go back to the Trunks training now, and I think that's everything in the, what is it, the party formation menu here?
Yeah, that was it for party formation. Now we got battle basics.
Battle basics, yep. Let's go.
I'm actually gonna fight now? Do I want to play the cutscene?
Sure, might as well. I think they actually did a good job with this tutorial because this didn't exist until like 5 years into the game.
Land and attack 3 times.
Learn about the difference in damage between different elements. Let's review the the effect that element affinity can have. Okay, yeah, so this is just talking about type advantage and type disadvantage. Yeah, right, we know this already, yep. By the way, just to quickly note, if you tap through this, yep. See on the bottom left above your character icon, it has the element factor up.
Yeah.
So there are different effects that occur in the game where certain characters can nullify attribute or element disadvantages. So sometimes let's just say, for example, this Trunks that you're fighting against, obviously you have type advantage over this Trunks. But sometimes characters will be able to go type neutral against you. And in that instance, a lot of times the arrow on the bottom there where it's showing that you have type advantage will just go away. So it's a pretty good indication to know when you have type advantage, when you don't have type advantage.
Okay.
All right, so we're just going to attack Trunks here. Yep. So that's a tap attack you're doing right now. Some abilities can even nullify element disadvantage. Yeah, so that's what I just talked about. Yeah, just quit out of this. Okay,
Rising Rush.
I love how the first thing they show you is Rising Rush.
That's a pretty big jump, isn't it?
Yeah. Learn all about the Rising Rush. Okay, I mean, it is a very important aspect of the game, so we do need to know about this.
This is like the one thing I enjoy doing. The Rising Rush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you use what you learn in this tutorial, you'll be able to land Rising Rushes and deal huge damage. Okay. Rising Rush is an incredible attack that does massive damage to an opponent. There's a trick to making sure it lands, though. Watch carefully so you can get a feel for the timing to use a Rising Rush right after a Vanishing Step.
Oh no, not the Vanishing Step.
If you're at long range from your opponent, it takes more time for attacks to reach them. That gives plenty of time to dodge. Attack your opponent to make them use their Vanishing Step, then activate your Rising Rush.
Okay, so
Okay, it probably wants you to use one of your arts cards. That works too, if he's going to dodge that. Yeah, okay. That works. So the reason why you're able to land the Rising Rush there is because once you vanish an attack, you lose your vanish for a set period of time. Once we're able to show this later, you'll understand it better, but when you vanish an attack, you have what's called a vanishing gauge. And I think it takes probably around like 3 seconds to get your vanishing gauge back once you've used it. So because he vanished your attack and you Rising Rushed him there, he couldn't vanish again because his vanish was on cooldown.
So general rule of thumb is to always have them like relinquish their Vanishing Step before you do anything like that.
Yeah. Another good way to just use Rising Rush is it's typically best practice to just use it in the middle of a combo. Okay. Like you can chain it into a combo, which we should show in a second here. The more of your allies who have been defeated, the more damage your Rising Rush will do. Your opponent can counterattack with a special move arts right up until the attack lands, so you've got to watch out. Yeah, so there's different ways the opponent can get around it. There's green cards and main abilities that restore Vanishing Gauge right away, so depending on the character you're fighting, you're going to want to change the way you do it, I guess. How to stop Rising
Rush.
Yeah.
Oh, is this the Vanishing Step thing?
This is probably going to talk about guessing, the guessing game in the Rising Rush.
Right.
Predict what card your opponent will choose so you can win the wager and stop their Rising Rush. Yeah, this is essentially just RNG, but yeah. If your opponent can land their own Rising Rush, you'll be in for a world of hurt. Here are some tricks for making the best of a bad situation. Okay, so he's going to Rising Rush you. Got hit by your opponent's Rising Rush? No problem. I mean, okay. You'll be able to stop it if you can guess which arts card they'll choose. There's even a trick to guessing correctly. Okay. Yeah, let's go to the next screen.
There's a trick for this? Really?
Not really. The side that activated Rising Rush picks a card from their own hand, while the defending side always has 4 types to choose from. If you remember the cards your opponent has just used, then picking one of the other types is a higher chance of success. But be careful, if they had multiple of the same type of card in their hand, then they can still pick that card even if they have...
Oh, okay, so that's completely useless.
Yeah, it's again, it is RNG.
Okay. Is there like a rule of thumb, like you're not allowed to have a certain number of cards of the same type in your hand, or you can't?
There is, yeah. Per team, there's one green and one blue card, generally speaking. And then depending on so each character actually holds 2 arts cards, and that will make up the rest of your deck.
Okay.
We can show this afterwards, actually, but yeah, just attack this guy and he'll rush you probably. Let's see if he goes for it here.
All right, bro. No need to show off now.
All right, so notice how you have one of every type of card. Just pick a random one of these. On the defending side, you will be able to choose one of the 4 types of cards. However, the person using the rush will only be able to choose one of the cards that's in their hand.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So that's their way of kind of balancing Rising Rush, I guess.
But there's never a way to like draw out which cards they use beforehand, so you can kind of like give yourself a better chance, right?
I mean, you can. I mean, certain characters like turn blast into strike. So if you know which characters do that and you guess strike, has a higher chance you can guess them. Some characters draw blue cards with their main abilities. So yeah, I mean, if you know what the abilities of certain characters are, there's a higher chance you can guess them. But at the end of the day, it is just luck. I think they want you to guess this guy to finish the mission.
So I'm just gonna fit. This will never end unless I get my 25%.
I think they want you to pick blue, probably for this.
Yeah, I'll do that this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, what do you know?
Great, you guessed him. Now he's probably raging. When you don't have a vanishing step to avoid your opponent's Rising Rush, switching to a character with low health can be a good strategy. Yeah, he's just talking about to sack them off. That way you can keep your other characters healthy and in good shape to continue the fight. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So in other words, pray. Thank you.
Surprised they didn't tell you how to actually get a Rising Rush. So just to explain how the Rising Rush mechanic actually works. When you start a fight, you will have certain cards that generate with Dragon Balls on them. There'll be a little Dragon Ball icon above the cards. And on the right side of the screen, you might have seen that there's actually 7 slots for each Dragon Ball. Or 1 slot for each Dragon Ball, 7 slots in total. Once you've collected all 7 Dragon Balls, then the right side of your screen becomes the Rising Rush button, and you can click it. But you need the Dragon Balls first. And there's a lot of different mechanics in the game at this point that can manipulate just either giving you more Dragon Balls or destroying enemies that destroy your Dragon Balls. So it's not like once you get a Rising Rush, you're always going to have it for the rest of the fight. Opponents can destroy your Dragon Balls.
So do you want to be rushing those like as soon as you get them, generally?
Yeah, that is a strategy depending on the team you're using. Yeah.
Tap shot.
Yeah, this is just tapping the screen, which hopefully they explain well here.
Do I want to play demos or cutscenes or?
Yeah, it might as well. See how this is explained here. Learn how to bait an opponent's vanishing step.
Someone's vanishing step.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Tap shots, tackles, and tap attacks are all performed with the same gesture with the resulting action depending on your distance. Always be aware of how close you are to your opponent. So I guess the first thing they didn't really explain well is there's 3 distances in the game. There's close, mid-range, and long range. So right now we're in mid-range. And then depending on the range that you're at, there's going to be different actions that happen when you tap attack. When you just tap the screen once in melee range, your character's just going to tap punch the opponent. When you're in mid-range, your character's going to tackle the opponent. And when you're in long range, you're going to tap blast. People usually call it tap blast. It's just like one key blast. Yep, so if you tap the screen, that's what happens. Tap the screen and hit your opponent with tap text 3 times. Okay. So the reason why this is useful is if your opponent is sidestepping constantly, you can do this to make them vanish. Make them waste their vanish. You can use tap shots to try and trick your opponent into using their vanishing step, yeah. Keep in mind that if you use a tap shot when your opponent has just used a blast arts, the blast arts will win. Yeah, so this is why people are pretty hesitant to just do this like very often in PvP, is because if you go for this, and your opponent goes for a blast at the same time, you will get hit by it. So note that if your opponent has used an arch attack that causes them to charge forward, your tap shots won't hit. Yeah, so he's talking about like blast armor.
Oh man, there's gonna be like a reflex sort of mind game involved here, isn't there?
Kind of, yeah.
Dealing with tap shots.
Mm-hmm. You can avoid tap shots by moving to the left or right. This allows you to save your vanishing step for when you need to avoid other attacks. Had to deal with, yeah, so this is just talking about you can move around the map without vanishing, and he'll show you how to do that. So if you instead of like flicking to the right or left on your screen, if you just like slowly drag, yeah, like that, if you slowly drag your character across, you can avoid those. To be honest, it doesn't really matter that much because those don't really do a lot of damage, so even if you get hit by like 2 or 3 of them, it really won't matter. But it's good to know. But isn't that like the combo starter? If you get caught in one of those, that's all they need to kind of rush in and start doing their thing? If you get hit by a tap attack like that, they can't start a combo off of it. So it's not that big of a deal.
So it's really just meant to disrupt and nothing else?
It's meant to bait you into vanishing more than anything.
Okay. Good thing for them. I don't know how to do a vanishing step.
Well, you just flick your screen. It showed you before.
Oh, that's it? I thought that was like the crazy advanced move. Vanishing?
You mean like perfect vanish?
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Perfect vanish? There's some move in this game that made me rage quit and not want to play. And it was something regarding vanish. It was like a vanishing mid-range step something.
All right, we'll get to that, I guess. Tackles. This is one of the most important things in the game.
And this is just making me want to do some PvP right now.
Got a long way to go.
Nah, man, I'm ready. Throw me in, coach.
If you land a tackle, go on the offensive by performing an arts attack. This is one of the most basic things in the game, but it also is probably one of the most important things and one of the most difficult things to master.
It's a tackle, bro. What?
If you manage to land a tackle, that's your chance to follow up with an arts attack. You'll easily be able to start a combo. It's important to remember that you only have a little bit of time to start a combo after your tackle hits. Don't hesitate.
Oh, I got this. Watch this.
Okay, so this is what happens when you tap the screen in mid-range. You go for a tackle. Yeah. So the reason why this is so important is because this is your main way of really starting combos from mid-range. The only problem, though, is it's fairly easy to counter a tackle. The opponent can either go for a strike once they see your tackle, your opponent can vanish your tackle, or if your opponent decides to just go for a blast at the same time as you go for a tackle, the blast will win. So there's a lot of ways it can go wrong. So it's pretty important to know the best timing to go for a tackle. You don't just want to spam it. See, okay, that's how you start a combo off of a tackle. You tap the screen, go for the tackle, and then you connect it with a card.
Are we currently in mid-range?
This is long range. Now you're in close range. Now you're in mid-range.
Now I'm mid-range.
Yeah. So what you just did right there, where you like dashed up to their face, that's called a quick dash. They're probably going to explain this later, but that is called a quick dash. They can counter with a strike arts when you're rushing in for the tackle. Yeah, that's what I just explained. When your opponent counters with an arts, keep calm and use a vanishing step. That's one strategy you should keep in mind. Yeah, so I'm actually, I wish they would show this, is the one criticism I have for the, like when they're explaining things like that, it doesn't really, I'm assuming you don't really understand what they're talking about. I wish they would show it. Anyway, let's back up.
You could fight me and show me.
I could, yeah. Quick attack. Yeah, quick attack is not a very maybe a controversial take, but I don't think this is that useful of an ability. Increase the number of options you have when you and your opponent are not attacking. Attack while reducing time spent moving, and even move into close range from long range. Combinations of quick attacks and dashes can even be used to start an offense. Okay, let's go. Have you ever been at long distance and you and your opponent just stare each other down? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Waiting for someone to make the first move.
It's always me.
When that happens, you got to remember how to use quick dashes and attacks. Tap shots, tackles, and tap attacks. Yeah, so this is basically almost what you were doing before with the quick dashes.
Right.
It's just when you're doing the quick dash, if you tap the screen a second time, it'll do an attack. When at long range from your opponent, you can flick up to perform a quick dash, which you were doing before. Quick dashes will allow you to get close to your opponent and attack while also avoiding tap shots. Plus, if you land a quick attack, you can act before your opponent, allowing you to use an arch attack without worrying about them being able to evade it. Okay, so one of the most common ways of initiating is going for a quick attack and then immediately going for a blast. The only reason why I'm not a huge fan of this is because if you do that, there's something called blast armor in the game, where if an opponent has blast armor on their strike cards, they can actually strike through your blast cards and it'll ignore your blast cards. They'll still take damage from the blast cards, but they'll be able to fly through and start a combo on you. And pretty much every really good character has blast armor on their strike, so it's a little bit of a risky play, but yeah. Let's try and do a quick attack here. So just, yep, and then, yep, okay, you got it. Nice.
No, that was the demo. I didn't do it.
Oh, okay. It should be pretty easy. You just flick forward and then tap the screen a second time. Yep, there you go.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait.
So what you should try next is do the same thing, but then use a blast card immediately. You weren't quick enough with the second tap.
Dude, that window's small, man. What the heck? Oh my god.
So don't wait for the character to like do an action. Just flick up and tap like almost immediately.
Okay.
Yep, there you go.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, so it didn't let you use the blast.
I tried to throw in the blast in there. It didn't work.
Yeah, that was just tutorial funkiness, but that's usually what people do to start combos a lot of times.
Okay.
Yeah. When you attack with a quick attack, it can be canceled out by your opponent's tap attack. Yeah, but that usually doesn't happen. You can't dodge your opponent's blast attack if you're quick dashing, so think carefully. Yeah, so if you go for a quick attack at the same time as your opponent goes for a blast, the blast will connect to you. So,
is there like a free, like a just a practice mode where you can just do whatever you want against the computer?
There is not, and that is one of the most highly requested features that they have not done.
Yeah, because I could really use that to practice some of these moves, man.
I wish they would add that. I've been trying to get that added for years. Rising Rush again. This is the advanced one. This is probably going to teach you how to rush against people who are attacking you, I would imagine.
I mean, just vanish and then rush back, right?
Well, that's not always possible. Using Rising Rush when your opponent uses an arts attack will let you ignore the attack and land your Rising Rush. All right, so this is probably going to be the enemy's probably going to go for a blast, and it's going to want you to rush them. Let's see. Yep. With this technique, just aim for when your opponent uses a basic arts attack. You should have plenty of opportunities. Even if you wait for your opponent to act first, you'll be able to nullify their arts attack and land a Rising Rush on this character. All right, here's the demo. This is actually like, I'm actually kind of surprised they have this in the tutorial, because this is the timing on this is pretty tight. Usually you will do this at mid-range, not long range,
because long range is way too easy to read.
Well, no, long range is actually harder, because first you have to recognize that they're going for a blast, because if they go for a strike at long range, they actually can vanish out of your rush before it connects. But in mid range, if your opponent goes for a blast or a strike and you rush, it doesn't matter what they choose, you can land your rush against them. This is actually pretty tough to read and takes practice. If you activate, hold on, what did he say? If it,
sorry.
Attacks, okay, so he's saying, I think he said if let's say the opponent goes for a blue card, like a Gallet gun or something at long range, if you go for a Rising Rush against that, the blue card will win. So, and you end up wasting your rush. Yeah, see, watch this. and that's it. That's the end of your rush. That's how you lose matches.
I'm pretty sure that's how I quit playing Legends.
Yeah. You'll need to check a character's details and see what kind of special move or ultimate arts they have. Yeah. All right, let's see if you can do this.
Okay, as soon as your opponent uses a blast or strike, activate Rising Rush. Okay, so I'm gonna just chill.
Yeah, it's better to do this in mid-range. You can try it at long range, but it's the timing is tight.
Is that it?
You got it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be much different in an actual fight when your opponent's moving around and you have different cards and stuff. So.
Do you know how stressful this was for me just now? That was so incredibly taxing, man. This game is so stressful.
Also, if your opponent goes for a tackle in mid-range and you rush, they can vanish out of your rush. So.
Yeah.
All right, combos.
It's only when they do a blast that they surrender their ability to vanish.
For a very short period of time, yeah. If you wait too long to do the rush, then they can vanish, even if they blast you.
Yeah, and as you can see here, this is where my journey as a Legends player ended. It's right here.
Okay, let's jump in. This is where we start getting into the good stuff. This is
cancel.
Yep, this is the good stuff right here. Perform an arts cancel. Spend less time moving and land your next attack more easily. By canceling an arts at long range, you'll be able to bait your opponent's attack. An arts card gets used, so it's even an opportunity to collect a Dragon Ball. All right, let's go. Now this one's important. Let's learn about canceling the recovery period after you use an arts attack. After using a strike or a blast art, sidestep or forward step at the right time to cancel that period of vulnerability after your attack. This technique can be applied to a wide variety of combos, so you'll definitely want to master it. All right.
After the blast hits, do a forward step.
Yeah, so I just want you to swipe up. See how the animation got kind of canceled at the end there?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so that's basically what they want you to do. Try canceling the recovery. So just use the blast and swipe up. You got it. Yep.
I swiped before the animation finished. That's what I'm supposed to do, right?
Yeah. You got it.
Okay, so if it's too early, it doesn't do it. So is there like a cutoff point where you can do this?
Honestly, you could just spam swipe up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You got it.
Okay. All right, that's easy.
Yep. Just do it, or use
Sorry.
Okay, yeah, it's just easy. Yep. Yeah, that's pretty basic.
Yeah, that's a movement that I see a lot of, like when I see your videos or Raiden or someone, I'm always seeing that sort of movement when you guys are kind of closing in.
Yeah.
Okay, strike cancel.
Strike cancel, okay, yeah.
I'm assuming it's the same concept, right?
This one is probably going to be sidestepping, but we'll see. You can just skip this. Let's talk about recovering your key and vanish gauge in the middle of a combo. Okay, this is going to talk about like sidestepping, yeah. By canceling your arts attack with a sidestep. You can recover your key and vanishing gauge while also continuing your combo. Before we even get into this, they did also mention in the newsletter that they are considering nerfing the amount of key and vanish you restore by doing sidesteps. So just
why?
Because combos go on for way too long. So they want to give give less of an incentive to prolong combos for way too long. The benefit of arts canceling. Here are some other benefits. You might draw another arts card. It's harder for an opponent to perform a special cover change since they won't know if you're going to go for a strike or a blast. Yeah. Okay, here's a demonstration of what it looks like. Let's see. So you
step forward and then you goes to the side?
Yeah. Yeah, the reason why you do that, so you can just sidestep and then go for a strike, but if you do that, you're telegraphing that the next card you're going for is a strike because you're launching at them from full screen. If you dash up
they have
first,
more time to counter.
Right. If you dash up first and then go for the strike, because you're starting the strike in melee range, your opponent's not going to know if you're going for a strike or a blast card next. And there are characters that have special cover changes against certain cards. So if a character has a special cover change against a strike card, and you go for a strike card against them at full screen, they'll know exactly what you're going for, so they can counter it.
Okay.
Let's see if you got it. Swipe up. Yeah, you waited too long. Again, if I were you, I would just spam swipe up after you've done the strike, and then just swipe right, and then you got to go for another card right after. Yeah, you'll get it. You'll get it. Just practice for a little bit. Yep, there it is. That was a little slow.
Oh, I pressed nothing. I was looking for a card and I pressed nothing. Hold on. I'm panicking. I need to calm down. Dude, this is so stressful. Okay.
I believe in you. A little late to press the card.
Bro! God. Okay, dude. I'm spamming.
So I think the best way to think about it is you want to be inputting. This is generally true for the game overall. The way the game works is you input something and it doesn't actually reflect in the game until like half a second later. So when you're going for the sidestep, you want to actually be swiping on your phone while your character is moving forward.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that'll cue the action to happen before it actually happens. It's just something that takes practice and you get used to it.
Okay.
So yeah, when your character's moving up now, yeah, perfect, you had it. But then when you're,
I just missed the input.
But then when your character is sidestepping, you want to already have the strike card pressed.
Right. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Bet. See you.
There it is. Keep going. Oh, you're a little late there. See, so if you do it this way, see how you're not really getting it. Notice how your combo was only 6 there. That means you dropped the combo. So your opponent would have had an opportunity to vanish you at that point. There you go. Let's see if you can keep going, or maybe 4 stops you.
Oh damn! Oh dude, I was just getting it. Okay, I kind of understand it. I'm gonna need to do that again. Yeah, we really need a practice mode.
Yeah. So but here's it actually does say this. Keep in mind that canceling with a sidestep will reduce the damage of your combo. Probably that is going to get increased based off what they said in the newsletter. They're gonna further increase the amount of damage reduction that happens when you do this, but we'll see.
Well, that makes sense, because if you just get caught in a pro level combo, you can't do anything and you're just dead, right?
Yeah.
So that seems fair.
I do think that's a good change, yeah.
Isn't it usually like the first one to win the mind game and close in, they're the one that usually wins the exchange?
What do you mean?
There was never any like out for the other person in those situations, right?
I mean, there are characters that have cover changes. There are characters that have different ways of disrupting the opponent's combos. But yeah, whoever gets more combos is usually the one who wins the match. Blast cancel combos. Uh-oh.
What is this? You have to do a 360 spin or something?
Uh-oh, what is this? Let's just jump into it.
Okay.
Let's move on to the basics. After activating a blast arts, perform a sidestep at the right time to cancel your action. Doing so will make it harder for your opponent to interrupt you with a special cover change. Keeping your opponent together. Okay, sure, yep. Once you've mastered the blast arts cancel, you'll be on your way to doing even more impressive combos. Let me just see what they're even talking about here. Let's see what the demonstration looks like. Yep. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, this is useful.
Wait, there's no sidestep?
Yeah, there's no sidestep in this. All they're doing is, I think what they're doing is they're just setting up the next thing on the tutorial. This is allowing you to close the gap from long range to close range in the middle of a combo.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
Yeah. So they want you to start at full screen, use the blast, do like one swipe, but you want it to be like a big swipe. So hold on, wait for your key to come back. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Do like one blast, big swipe. There you go. There it is. You got it.
Oh, heck yeah. Okay.
Yep, pretty easy.
Oh, that one's easy.
Yeah. The next one might not be so easy.
Lateral movements that I'm not able to keep up. This
Yeah.
is easy.
The next one is probably going to be a little bit more tough.
Well, this is where I quit. So yeah, we'll see.
This is when this first came out, this tutorial, I saw so many people complaining about this. Blast Arts key charge combos. Let's go. This is also called charge step, is what this is called.
Oh wait, no, this is the one. This is it's not vanishing step. It's charge step.
Yep.
That's what killed me in this game.
Yep. Charge step. Let's go.
Oh God.
You better know how to do this.
I don't. I'm warning you right now. The rest of the video is just going to be you watching me do this and laugh.
This is where things get interesting. Oh, it does it. Okay. This one will let you recover some ki during the combo. That also helps get that next attack in, even if so it even has the benefit of giving you more attack options. Here are some other benefits. You might draw another arts card. After substitution counts will go down, it's harder for an opponent to perform a special cover change since they don't know what card you're going to use. Yeah, same. It's basically the blast version of the side steps during the strike combo. That's basically what this is.
Okay.
Here we go. Think you can do this?
Bro, no. I'm getting this is bringing back nightmares. No, dude, I can't do this.
I bet you already mastered the timing. That's what he said.
I can't do this. Hold on. Okay. Fire the blast and then.
Well, you have to be at melee range for this to work. Yep.
Okay.
No, melee.
Wait, that's mid range. We have to be melee. Okay. So
let me just explain to you what you have to do here. So you want to click. So first thing, you don't do it yet, but the first thing you do is click the blast card.
Right.
Swipe up, and then my recommendation is while your character is moving up, you already want to be holding down on the screen to charge.
Oh my God. Okay.
Then while your character is charging, you click the next blast card.
Okay.
Actually wasn't a bad first attempt. That actually wasn't too bad. You were just a little slow.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the timing, I mean, this is where most people will struggle. It probably isn't as important as most people think it is, but this is something we should learn how to do. You almost had it. That was so close. So close. This is like this is one of those things where once you get the timing down, it's pretty easy. But it's just a matter of
buckle
learning. Yeah, it's just a matter of learning.
Grab some food.
Maybe we'll do a montage on this one.
If you want. Dude, I might throw my phone. I'm not gonna lie.
I know everybody loaded into this video and just forwarded to this part. Okay, I'll reiterate my recommendation is you want to be charging before your character even stops moving up.
That's what I'm doing.
A little slow.
Oh my God, dude.
Okay, a little slow again.
How is that slow? I'm so freaking fast.
Okay,
oh my God, now it's completely skipped the charge.
Yep.
Why is there that delay? Is my brain just not processing this fast enough?
All right, try this. Literally, when you swipe up on your phone, the second you swipe up, immediately start charging.
Okay.
That was close. You almost had it.
Ah, I'm out of key.
Oh, you almost got it. You just
what?
missed.
That wasn't even close. I didn't charge at all.
You just missed the charge, man. There.
Okay, breathe. Breathe. Breathe.
Close. Close.
You're not gonna believe this. I missed the screen.
If you want
I
to
just
watch the
missed.
demonstration again, you can.
Bro, that's what I'm doing.
I bet you already mastered the timing. I cannot believe they put that in there.
Wait, hold on. They did not just say that, did they? Hold on.
I cannot believe that's in this.
Go to hell, dude.
Oh man, this is going in the title. Toon tries to charge step. All right, we can stop playing around and we can do it now.
I'm not trying to play around.
Oh, you got it! There it is. And then
I don't know how I did that.
And then from there, you can just keep chaining that into the other cards.
Okay, hold on. I think I got it. Hold on. Okay, cool.
Okay, hold on. I can give you one more recommendation.
Yeah.
Once you press the blast, you can even swipe, like you could even swipe up like 3 times. Like just keep doing it until you start seeing your character move, and then once your character starts moving, then you can start charging. Like this.
Oh my god, that reaction time is crazy though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
I missed. Okay.
Okay, that was you almost had that. Hey, there it is. Got it. Keep going. You can keep going off of that.
No! Ah!
Yeah, there you go. It's probably easier for you to do it when you're just swiping up a lot, right?
No, I did it twice.
Okay, yeah.
I swiped up twice. I think I just need to find that sweet spot just with enough practice.
Yeah.
And then I'll get used to the rhythm.
That is probably the one aspect that takes the most practice in this game is mastering the charge step.
I kid you not. The first time I tried this, I was on this for an hour and a half. And after I did it, I quit and I never came back.
Yeah. You can even like charge step off of a blast into a strike. You can charge step. There's different lengths of charges you can do. You can charge step into a main ability. Like it gets more complicated, but the basics.
Do you have like a video where you see your hand, like your finger as you do it?
I don't know. I guess I should look into that, huh?
Yeah, because I wanted to break my phone doing this.
I'm sure people have done that before where they filmed their hand doing the action.
I think I need to see that. I think that'll help. Oh my god, that was so brutal.
Well, we made it.
Yeah, we did. And then that's where it ended. I said, hell no, no more.
Blast cancel counter.
The hell is this?
Let's see.
There's not going to be another trick where I have to use what I learned in that last one, is there?
I don't know. We'll see. Perform a successful blast cancel counter. This time, let's take a look at the ebb and flow of real battle where you're canceling blast darts, okay? When you use a blast darts and it seems like your opponent is about to evade it with a vanishing step, that's your chance. Use an arts cancel here to be yeah, okay. So what they're saying is it's probably gonna be long range. It's gonna want you to go for a blast. Your opponent's gonna vanish your blast, and then it's gonna want you to swipe up to cancel the animation. I think is what's gonna tell you to do here.
Okay.
You'll be able to perform a vanishing step of your own and dodge their attack. Yeah.
Okay.
Here's the demo. Go into mid-range. Okay, yeah. So that, and then they want you to vanish.
What?
So all you do is you just swipe up and swipe to the right.
No, I need to see that again. No. I'm not. Nope. Nope. What the hell?
It looks probably more complicated than it actually is. It's very simple.
Okay.
After you use a blast, when your opponent vanishes, you just swipe up, swipe to the right. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. There you go.
Okay. Yeah. It just looks incredibly intimidating.
Yep.
Okay.
You can do it at long range too. Yeah. But you're supposed to attack after that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because your opponent uses their vanish there, so they can't vanish again. Okay, he had no vanish.
You can't tell when his vanish comes back, right?
You cannot, yeah.
Okay.
A little slow.
Okay, hold on.
A little slow.
Oh, what's happening, man? I had it.
There you go. I think it wants you to use wants you to use an arts.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because that's how you start a combo on them.
Right.
There you go.
Oh. Okay, I tried to do the charge step and I completely failed it.
Yeah, that wasn't even close. You can sidestep here.
Don't laugh at me, man. This is high pressure situation. I tried to do the sidestep and it didn't.
I think it's this tutorial, yeah. Attacking after a blast arts cancel can be really effective, but if your opponent does a perfect vanish, you might not be able to. Okay, well, actually, they just changed this. You cannot perfect vanish a blast at long range. So that doesn't exist anymore. So that this is actually outdated.
What? Why? Oh, is it just like it's too easily executable and it was too broken?
It was just creating too much passive play, so they just axed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that move was cooler. I like that one. That was less ridiculous. Charge step is my only issue. That one is good. Okay.
Combos with
ultimate arts.
Okay, this one probably isn't going to be that complicated. This is just drawing an ultimate with a main ability and then using it probably. Main abilities, yep. This time, let's try using a main ability in the middle of your combos. Here's one technique. Isn't that awesome? If you use your main ability after an arts attack, you can even combo into an ultimate. Wow, that's crazy.
Wait, what is a main ability?
So you see that on the bottom left, there's like a little bar that's not filled up on your character portrait. Once that little bar fills up, you can tap your character portrait and it'll activate their main ability.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So a lot of characters have drawing an ultimate as a part of their main ability. So you can see they're going to tap the main, it draws their ultimate, and you can just use it there.
Yeah. So it just overwrites whatever card you have?
Not always. Sometimes you need to have an open slot in your hand to draw it. Some characters will destroy one of their own cards to make space to draw it, though.
Yeah. Okay, strike arts into main ability into ultimate.
This should be pretty easy. Yep. There it is. Something else you can do as well is if you strike, you can actually dash up and then main and then ult.
Okay, let me try that.
I don't know. It's not going to let you. Yeah, so if you use a blast card from long range, it doesn't work.
Okay.
I wish they would show that stuff. Like, I wish a lot of these tutorials are good, but I wish they would, instead of like explaining things, they would just show you.
Yeah.
Switching characters mid combo. This is going to introduce cover changes, I guess.
This reminds me of when I tried fighting Truth. Wait, how did you teleport him in?
Yeah.
We have to go find that clip.
All right, let's go. Let's learn some basic combos that incorporate characters. Oh, it's going to make you switch characters in the middle of the combo. Okay. With this kind of combo, it's important to pay attention to your opponent's character. That way you can pick a character that has the element advantage and continue your combo. All right, let's see what he does.
Strike arts, forward step, character switch, strike arts.
Think you can handle that?
What the hell? No. I need to see that again, dude. What? No. Show me again. Okay, up. Thing. Follow up. Then switch. Follow up again. Okay.
You know why they're doing this, right?
No.
Because Beerus...
Oh, yeah. Because type advantage.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, if that's the case, why not just switch to type advantage immediately?
Because you don't... Okay, so you know how vanishes work, right? Where you have like one vanish per character and then you have to replenish your vanish.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't want to switch that quickly because you want to preserve your vanishes. So like you could go to Future Gohan and just try and get the combo started with Future Gohan, but if the enemy vanishes your Future Gohan, you can't switch. Whereas with Beerus, if you try and get the combo started with Beerus here, and you miss, and the enemy starts attacking you and comboing Beerus, you at least can cover change and switch to Future Gohan.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this.
A little slow. We have... Okay, yeah, good. Keep trying again.
I missed. I pushed the wrong... I missed. Sorry. Does this happen to players where they just kind of panic and just whiff?
I have missed before, yeah. Everybody's done it.
Okay.
All right, so because you waited too long, it instead of becoming a dash, it became a quick dash.
Yeah. Also, I'm using both hands. Should I be using just my right hand?
It comes down to preference. I use both hands.
You use both hands?
I mainly just use my right hand, but for switching, I use my left hand.
Okay. I'm just gonna keep doing this then.
Oh, you almost had it. That was so close.
How did I miss that?
The timing is pretty tight on after you switch. Pretty much as soon as you see the character about to switch, that's when you press the card. Yeah, a little late. Almost. That was like a millisecond off. This actually could be pretty tough too, like for if you're just learning it. Timing is pretty... Yep, there you go. You got it.
My brain is starting to move a little faster.
Yeah, it just takes practice. That's a quick dash.
That was a quick dash. Yep, I was too late. I don't know, man. I don't like spamming up. I like just getting the timing right. Can players like operate at a high level just doing the timing right, or is it better for you to just do the spam?
You can just spam, it doesn't matter.
I just don't like that.
There you go.
Okay.
If you wanted to like practice, you could try and like combo off of that too. Like do that and then start like sidestepping into the strike combo.
Well, it's not gonna work now since we're at 2 out of 3. Because when I get it right, it's gonna end it.
Yeah.
Okay. My hands just acted on their own. Oh, what? Why did it skip the switch?
You didn't give it enough time. There you go. Oh, a little late.
It's crazy that you could tell. There we go. Okay. All right. I gotta just get used to this, man. I gotta get used to being faster. I'm a Dokkan player, man. I play at my own pace. This is too much. All right, next one.
Yeah, wasn't that bad, right?
Not as bad as the charge step. Oh, we're doing now an advanced version. Okay, I'm gonna hate this one.
What is this?
It's the same thing, but advanced.
More advanced combo. Integrates character switching.
Am I gonna do like a crazy combo then switch like 3 times over?
Well, there's only 2 characters here, so I don't know. You can avoid. Yep, keep going. If you land a blast darts at close range, then you can even use a main ability. Okay.
Close range blast darts, forward step, character switch, main ability, ultimate arts. Okay.
Yeah, it sounds worse than it is. So just to explain why this even works, okay? You could try the same thing with a strike and it won't work. The reason why is because when you hit your opponent with a strike card, it sends them further away. Right? When you use a strike, it sends your opponent to long range. When you land a blast, it sends your opponent to mid range. So the reason why it works on blast cards is because there's less of a gap in between you and your opponent, so it actually gives you more time to do something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to see that again. Give me one more. Okay, blast, up, switch. Okay. So I'm just adding one more quick button press before or after the switch.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's got to be off of a blast card.
Okay.
You also have to be in melee range.
I am, right?
Well, you have to start it in melee range.
Oh, so did this not work?
Yeah, you drop the combo.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
Yeah, so start here. A little late. Yeah, I thought this is like one where you really have to be spamming the main ability.
Okay. All right, give me a moment while I lean forward. Hang on.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it.
As soon as you see the character start switching, you should be hammering your main ability. There you go. Boom.
Is this something that advanced players like now struggle with, or is this still pretty basic for you guys?
No, this is basic.
Is there like any room for error for you guys like at high level play?
I mean, if you drop the combo, you probably will get comboed back. Most likely.
I straight up missed. Okay, cool. I straight up whiffed. That's cool. No, bro, I spammed.
The time where this gets really, really hard is when it's lagging.
Oh God.
Then it becomes very hard. Yeah.
How do you even process at that point? Like, what do you do?
You have to just be spamming constantly.
Did I ever tell you I have a torn ligament in my thumb? I actually can't button mash as fast as I used to.
No, when did that happen?
Happened when I was on the bench press. I was swinging my arms to stretch my chest, and I smashed my hand into the bar, and I tore my ligament. Never had it fixed. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, I got it.
Nice.
That's why every Mario Party game that button mashes, a little part of me dies inside when you just dominate.
But you just get the turbo controller.
It's not gonna help when I have a torn ligament in my thumb, bro.
Well, the controller just does it all, right? This
it
combo
does? Is
only
that what
works.
you're using, you cheater?
No, I don't use that. This combo only works when you're at close range to your opponent, but it's seriously powerful if you land it. Okay.
Dude, my hand hurts.
We're just getting warmed up.
Oh my God, dude, my hand's like kind of cramping. Is this normal?
No, you're just a wimp.
I'm just a wimp. Okay, dude. Legends is like a high intensity sport. Oh my God.
All right, well, we got through that. Now we're putting it into practice.
I have not I've retained like maybe 10% of what I've learned. If they ask me to do everything in one go, I'm gonna quit.
This is just like planting the seeds into your brain about how the game works, kind of. What is this? We're gonna have to discuss how to use characters switching effectively during battle. Okay, you have three characters now. Did you know that switching characters after you use a vanishing step will actually refill the vanishing gauge? Let's start with a demonstration. Yeah, this is just every character has their own vanish. Yeah, this is a very, very common play. Even people at high level make this play all the time. Is you'll vanish and attack, and then you switch into the other character, and then you vanish again.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Sure.
There you go. Nice.
Hey. Oh wait, bro. Back up, man.
He's beating you up, dude. You gonna let him do that?
Well, shut the.
There you go. Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Ooh. We finally achieved it. Oh, there's a third. Oh, damn. I wasn't ready. Time out.
He's gonna rising rush you. See, and then after you do that, you can attack.
Yeah.
Yep. Switch characters at the right time.
Is that something that you have to do on a dime where you read the opponent, or do you just kind of automatically like default into that combo? Because like I couldn't read that. I just did it because the game told me to.
You pretty much default into that at the beginning, and then from there you kind of gauge what your opponent does, and then you can switch it up.
So then if someone's defaulting into that, can't you read that and sort of play around that?
You can.
If you're the enemy?
Yeah, you can. But then your opponent will adjust to you.
All right, that was cool. You know, I think I better play this left-handed.
Okay.
My left hand doesn't have a torn ligament.
Perfect Vanish. Let's see how much of this is outdated, because they changed Perfect Vanish. All right, let's see. Have you ever heard of the Perfect Vanish? I better fill you in. Using Perfect Vanish will make it even easier to counterattack. Let's see.
This is the one where you just teleport and don't move. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, notice how he did that at mid-range. You cannot Perfect Vanish a blast at long range. They removed that from the game.
Because it's too easy to read and counter.
Because what ended up happening was it affected too much of the game. Like people were just playing around Perfect Vanish, and it just became too constrictive of a playstyle.
A special effect will be displayed?
Yeah, so there's like it's like a bigger, like a shine effect. Oh, they don't even have you do it.
Wait, I didn't do it. Hello?
Okay, anyway. That wasn't a very...
Don't I need to be able to practice that? I didn't get to do it.
That wasn't a very good one. Okay. Character abilities, let's see. We're almost there. Almost there. This is the last section.
Bro, I'm sweating over here. I'm sweating.
You can interrupt your opponent's combo by using a cover change. Have you ever heard about special cover changes? It's a special ability that some powerful fighters have.
Oh, yeah, I know this one. This is where you swap and then one of them gets to, like, smack you.
Yeah, so it's going to depend on the specific cover change that the character has. Both of the characters you have, both Super Vegito and the Gogeta Blue, both have strike cover changes. So if you go for a cover change, so like if you're in the middle of getting comboed by your opponent and you swap into one of these two characters, they'll knock the opponent back and stop the combo.
Yeah. I remember this.
Yeah.
When he follows up. Yep.
Now, if you would have used a blast card, you wouldn't be able to do this because it's against strikes only.
Are there any... So cover change is always just for strikes? There's no sort of cover change for a blast?
It's dependent on the character. So these characters both have strike cover changes.
Okay, but there are blast cover changes.
There are blast cover changes. There are characters that cover change against both strikes and blasts.
So those have to be like the most OP, right?
Super Saiyan 4 Goku Daima has that, yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. All right.
There are actually very rare. There are characters that can cover change against blues. Ultra,
is he one of them?
Ultra DBZ Broly can do that.
Whew.
He cover changes against blues, strikes, and blasts, and greens. Yeah, so you can do this. And if you had a blue card in your hand, you could actually chain the blue card into this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or off of that. Now, there's multiple ways you can get around this. Probably the single most powerful effect in the game is called Special Cover Change Nullification. So if Trunks had that on him, you would not be able to cover change even if he went for a strike. Yeah, so here, some characters can nullify special cover change with their abilities. That is one of the more premium abilities right now, and that's been that way for a while. Also,
so when that happens, does the animation even play, or does it just not even let you do that?
No, it doesn't let you do it. I mean, an icon, they actually just added this. An icon will show up above. So you see where Gogeta's icon is? Yeah. And there will be like a little cross out icon that will show up above him to let you know that you can't cover change.
Oh, okay.
There's also, if you're fighting against someone who knows what they're doing, they can actually intentionally drop the combo that will prevent you from cover changing. So what would happen is they will drop the combo, and if you are queued up to switch into your cover change character, your character will swap in, and then they'll just continue comboing you.
I gotta see that.
Yeah. There's some ways around it. You can also get rise, like if someone thinks you're gonna go for a cover change, someone can just rising rush you, and then they'll just get rising rush. There's ways around it. All right, dealing with special cover changes. This is probably going to talk about drop combos. I would guarantee it. If you stop attacking, yeah, your opponent can also use special cover changes, so I guess you'll need to know how to deal with that. When it seems like your opponent is ready to use a special cover change, all you need to do is pause for a bit, then attack again. Here we go. This is drop combos. This is important, but it's not as important as it used to be because most good characters can just nullify these now. So he's gonna get cover changed, but then I guess he's gonna wait. Let's see how he drops here. Yeah, see how he waited there? He didn't,
oh, that's what that is that I see you guys always do.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you were that's why I said when you were doing the sidestep strike combos earlier, that's why I said when you drop the combo, that's like a way you could get around the special cover changes.
Okay. All right, let me try it. Do I have to do this at mid-range?
It doesn't matter. So that was a real, like you didn't interrupt that. That was the real combo.
Oh.
So what you're going to want to do now is just delay it by like a millisecond.
Okay.
Okay, that was good.
And now I delayed it too much. Okay. Okay, wait, hold on. My brain is now slowing down. Hold on, speed up. Bro!
A little bit too late, but I guess it works.
It still kind of worked out, but not in the way that they wanted it. Yeah.
Because if you wait too long, then they could just vanish. That worked, I think. Yeah.
That's such a subtle difference.
Yeah. If your opponent predicts when you're going to stop your combo, they'll be ready to evade with a vanishing step. Yeah, so if your opponent predicts that you're going to drop your combo because they think that you think they'll switch, then they won't switch.
The mind games in this game is crazy.
Yeah. All of the things that we're going through in this tutorial, they're just going to be things that you have to learn as you play the game. I think the date just changed. Yeah, so we just hit 3 p.m.
Oh, we just got to reset. Okay.
Yeah. I guess we could briefly weave this in here. You're gonna have a login bonus, which you get to choose, right?
Hey, it's true. I always just go for the CC. Is that what I should be doing?
It's not bad. It's not a bad pick. Let's see what the options are. So, I think the best pick is Sparking Metal. because you can eventually just get multi-Z power through this. So I would recommend the Sparking Medal.
Okay.
If you have the Legends Pass, if you ever buy that, you can actually choose 2 per day.
I guess I kind of have to now that we're doing this.
I mean, yeah.
Dude, right. Why is Legends reset at 11 p.m. at night for me?
It's at 3 p.m. for me.
That's horrible.
All right, I think we have like one or two left.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. I just defaulted. Hold on. Yeah.
No, that's a good hobby to be into. Just grab that every day.
Yeah, we just have, I think, 2 more.
About
armor and counters.
This is blast armor. It's going to tell you about characters that can just strike attack through blast cards.
You're right. Okay. Yeah. I'm very familiar with this.
If an attack is armor, what about blast armor? Have you heard about that ability? Let's learn more. Yeah, almost. If a character has a blue card that's a melee blue card, almost all of them have blast armor. When an arts attack has blast armor, then even if your opponent lands a blast attack, the attack will continue. Okay. Yeah, this blue card is going to have blast armor. There are a lot of characters that have that on their strike cards too. So.
On their what cards?
Their strike cards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Wait, I don't have a blue card.
They're going to want you to use the green first. Yep, then use the blue.
Oh, right.
There is certain timing that your opponent, like if you do it too late, your opponent can vanish out of it. It's also, I wouldn't really recommend you do this at full screen. Usually it's better to do this at melee range. Well, typically it's mid-range. Mid-range is where you usually see this happen.
Okay, just because there's less room for them to do anything, right?
Yeah. Also, if your opponent goes for a strike at long range and you go for a blue, then that's a combo on you.
You do the clash thing.
No, you don't even clash. They get a combo on you because they get you vanish out of the strike.
Oh.
Yeah, you still take damage from the blast armor.
They're
like minimal,
actually
right? Now what they're starting to do is they're starting to give characters not even armor but nullification. So once again, Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku's blue card doesn't have blast armor. It literally nullifies blast cards, so they don't even take damage from the cards anymore.
That seems excessive.
Yeah.
What was the point of that change?
Because there's actually this mechanic called Armor Break, which is a type of blast card that cancels blast armor.
Oh, okay.
So that's a way to get around that. Super skilled warriors will sometimes have abilities called counters. I bet you haven't seen this before. Okay, so they're gonna show you the green card counters. Each of these characters on your team have a green card counter. Fighters that have the ability to counter will nullify certain arts attacks and then follow with a counter. Some characters can activate counters against specific attacks from your opponents. Even if you can't do a vanishing step, you'll be able to nullify an opponent's attack and even counterattack. Yeah, so the reason why counters are strong is if you have no vanish and you've already used your vanishes, you can use counters to buy time to get your vanish back. He's gonna counter him, and then I think if he had a blue card, actually no, I'm pretty sure this Vegeta can combo off of this. I think. I don't know, it's been a long time. This is probably also something you want to do at full screen, just because it's easier to land. Yeah. You can do it with Janemba too. Yamcha's is fun. Baseball Yamcha. It's an old character.
Oh, let's go. You're gonna knock him out. Let's go. That's awesome.
I'm pretty sure this Yamcha is if you do that 7 times, he gets 7 Dragon Balls, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like impossible to do it.
You can check their details to see which ones have counters.
Yeah,
okay.
There's a lot of counters. Some characters counter with their unique gauges and stuff. So there we go. That is all the Trunks tutorial sections. Again, you're not going to become a master by doing all these. I think it's just, this is a good way to plant the seeds of how the game works in your mind. And like, as you are getting better and experienced with the game, these things will just remind you how to play. but it's really going to take practice to get them nailed.
Dude, that charge step is so incredibly stressful.
Yeah, but keep in mind, it's not just that. It's going to be charge step. Remember, you're going to be using all these things together. Right? You're going to be blast carding and canceling the animation and vanishing, and then you're going to do that to go into your charge step. Then you're going to be switching characters into using the ultimate. Like, it's all these things that are going to come together.
Yeah.
So, do you want to end the video by doing the Sparking Limit Break banner? We talked about this a little bit. I think.
Sure. I mean, if you want.
Yeah, I think this is worth it for your account. It's just this banner, you never really have a guaranteed way of getting an upgrade for your characters. This is one of the few times they do this. You can just jump in. You're really not summoning for the characters. You're just summoning for the coins that we'll get from this.
Okay. So I'll just skip all these?
You can skip, yeah. This is really good because, again, you don't really ever get guaranteed stuff. They usually do these before they drop major things. And because we're about to head into the anniversary, that's why they decided to drop this now. So as you'll see, we're getting these sparking coins, and we can use these sparking coins to exchange for Z power in the exchange shop, which is the most of the value from this banner. So we'll start pumping.
When you're starting out and
yeah.
you don't have a whole lot of CC though, is it good to be going for this over just like regular banners?
No. So I think if you're going to be starting a new account and you're going to be re-rolling for better characters, you want to at least get a good solid team first, like how you have one for Daima. And then I think once you have like the foundation of your team, then you can jump into a banner like this just to help flesh it out a little bit more. I'd say like get 3 good characters, have your core of your team ready to go, and then you can start doing stuff like this where you just power up those 3 characters.
Wait, how many steps are there?
There's 9 in total.
Oh, 9. Okay.
So you'll see, we'll get some Z power here. I guess this is like, oh, that's a featured unit, Nimbus. There's Vegeta. It's actually a pretty good character to pull because if you get this guy to 7 stars, you can Zenkai him, and he has a really, really good bench Zenkai ability. That was a pretty good pull, actually. It's one of the better characters you can get on this banner, I think.
Didn't think we'd be getting any good pulls after what happened in the last video.
Yeah, we didn't get lucky enough. All right, so after this, we'll jump into the exchange shop, and I'll show you what we're going to get from this. Yep, this is the last step. Skip that. Okay.
All right.
So now back up and go into the, if you open your menu, you can go to the exchange shop, and then it should be right there where it says limit break.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So definitely would recommend getting the Legends Limited Z power there. The top, yep, get that. Click OK. I would just, now, before we even buy anything else, go and use that on Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Yep, you go to show details, use, yep. And then just slam that in there.
This one?
The 600 we just bought, yeah.
Oh, 600, okay.
Our goal is to get this guy to 6 stars because then he gets the next Z ability, which is really strong because it's going to give extra HP to the team.
Should I use these 2 while we're at it or no? Save those.
Use the 200, yeah. And then there's more we can actually buy from that shop we just went to. All these stars are giving him extra stats as well. So we need 400 more? Yeah, so go back to the shop.
More.
Yeah.
This one gives only 100. Okay.
So you can actually get 2 more, and then we can pump them up to 6 stars.
You can't have more than 1 at a time? Why?
That's their way of, I guess, not allowing you to hoard things.
Why wouldn't? Okay. Seems nonsensical.
And then the last one, and you're good. This actually really, I think that was really worth it.
What do we do with the rest of the limit break coins that we got?
I'll tell you in a second. It's gonna be very good.
Oh yeah.
All right, so this guy's gonna limit break to 6 stars. We're gonna get his extra Z ability, extra HP. Yep. There's that other Z ability.
Okay.
All right, go back to the shop again. And we're just going to buy out the top Z-Power. Yep, just buy them all. And then we're going to use them all in Majin Ku.
Majin Ku now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just use them all in Majin Ku.
Aye, Captain.
Yep.
Oops, I could use.
Yeah, you can use multiple. You'll notice that if we get them to 9 stars, which I think we're going to be a little short here, 9 stars is the biggest jump in stats for the character. For whatever reason, that's like where we see the biggest change. So go back to the shop. I think there's 2 more we could buy.
Should I also use these extra ones that I have right there?
You could save those. I don't think you need to use those right now. And you have 3 left, it said. Yeah, just dump them in.
Yeah, we're 400 short. With these 2, we'd be 200 short.
Yeah, there's no reason to use those unless you can get them. There are other exchange shops which you can do events for that have like Z-Power in them. Go back to the one we were just in though, because I just want to see what else is in there. Okay, so what I would say, because over the weekend you're gonna farm up the souls and the Zenny, right, from the events.
Yeah.
So what I would say is just hold on to this until you do that, and then you could just buy 300 energy from here.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's nothing really else worth. I mean, the extreme Z power, in theory, it's fine, but there's really no EXs that are even worth it. So there's no point in even getting those right now.
Okay. Should I pick up all these missions?
Oh yeah, we can show this quickly as well before we end. We did do some soul boosting after the first video. So we have a lot of missions here. I mean, you could accept them if you want, but we got a lot left to go here. This is not even half of the missions that we need to do. You can accept them if you want.
I'd love to pick them up, but if you want me to hold on to them, I can hold on to them.
Oh, pick up the Trunks training missions. Yeah, pick those. Might as well get these. 200cc, some stuff. Yep, that's pretty solid. Okay, got all those. And then I don't know what this is. Okay, random mission.
Okay.
All right, and then yeah, let's just pick up all the other missions. Why not?
So I'm gonna pick up all the soul boosted ones.
Yeah, pick them up. Why not?
Wait, what is that I just got? What is that?
That's an adventure. We haven't talked about that yet. That's going to be in the next video.
Okay. All right, let's pick up all these.
And this is going to be 2,410 CC. This isn't even half of the missions. So yeah, there's a lot in here. And you're also getting a lot of Z levels, which is going to give you more stuff.
Oh yeah. What is that, like my rank?
Yeah, it's your rank. Yeah.
And it gives me more.
You're getting energies to give you like, this is like a relic of the ancient history of the game where they give you like the Z power of like the super old characters. That's funny. I didn't even remember that. All right, and then you can accept these other missions that we just get. Yep. Again, this is a really good way of just getting free extra CC before they take these missions out of the game, which should happen in a few days.
Yeah. And this is the one where like I could get that premium pass thing, right?
Yeah, we're going to talk about this in the next video.
Okay.
All right, I think we're good to end here. This is a bit of a longer one, but we covered a lot. Do you have any questions?
Yeah. When are we gonna get a practice mode where I can practice that stupid charge step?
The practice mode,
because I hate that move.
We've been asking for that for years. I hope they give it to us at some point. I mean, we could always jump into like just like a friend match, but we do live pretty far from each other, and there probably would be lag. So
maybe just a tad. Yeah. California to Japan might be a little tricky.
All right, I think we're gonna wrap up there for the second video. We still have a lot more to cover, so we'll jump into the third and fourth and fifth and sixth videos soon. If you guys want to see anything in particular that maybe you don't understand about the game or you want extra explanation on, let us know. But we will see you guys in the next one.
Yeah, I'm getting better. Watch it. Bye-bye.